They did not expect to see a woman standing completely still inside the house for 6 hours. When police reviewed the home security footage, they expected to see an intruder. The owner swore he lived alone. It was winter of 2019 in a quiet neighborhood on the outskirts of a medium-sized American town. The kind of place where nothing bad ever happens. At least, that's what people like to believe. The house in question belonged to a man named Evan, a 32-year-old who worked nights at a distribution center. He lived alone, kept to himself, and hardly ever had guests. But Evan had a problem. For weeks, he'd been waking up to strange things around the house. His fridge would be open in the morning. His sink faucet would be left running. Lights he swore he'd turn off would be on hours later. At first, he thought he was simply overtired from his night shifts, until the night he found something that made his stomach drop. A half-eaten sandwich sat on the kitchen counter. Evan hadn't made one, and he never ate white bread. He was allergic. That was the moment he realized something was wrong. Evan decided he was going to solve the mystery. He installed cheap motion-activated cameras throughout the house. That very night, he was awakened around 3:17 a.m. by something that sounded like scratching, light, deliberate, like someone dragging their fingernails across the inside of a wall. He sat up, listening. The sound moved slowly from the hallway wall to right above his bedroom, and then it stopped. He checked the camera live feed on his phone. Nothing. Everything was still. He forced himself to go back to sleep, but the scratching became a nightly occurrence. Always at 3:17 a.m. Always slow. Always traveling. He uploaded the footage to his laptop the next morning. That's when he froze. At exactly 3:17 a.m., the hallway camera captured something small. A shadow moving at the very edge of the frame. Not a person, not an animal, just a shape. Tall, thin, still. Like someone standing just outside the view. A week later, Evan came home from work just before sunrise. Exhausted, he walked past the living room window and nearly screamed. There was a face reflected in the glass behind him. Pale, expressionless. A woman's face. He spun around. No one was there. He grabbed his phone, shaking, and rewound the security footage for the night. Everything seemed normal. But at 3:17 a.m., the exact minute the scratching usually started, the camera caught something that made his blood run cold. A woman stepped into the living room frame. Not walking, not creeping, just appearing, as if she had been there all along, blending into the darkness. Her head tilted slightly. She stared directly at the camera, and then she stepped backward, disappearing into the shadows again. There was no break-in. Evan stopped the footage and replayed it in disbelief. He lived alone. No reason she should be there. No signs of forced entry. Nothing. Evan called the police, shaking. Officers arrived and searched the house from top to bottom. Yes. Sir, you said you live alone? But as the officers were leaving, one of them paused. You don't have a daughter or someone staying with you? No relatives? No. What? The officer hesitated, then said. One of the guys thought he saw someone upstairs. Maybe just shadows. The police left, but that night, Evan didn't sleep at all. He placed cameras in every inch of the house. At 3:17 a.m., his phone blew up with motion alerts. He opened the feed. The woman was back. This time, she was standing closer to the camera, close enough that Evan could see her eyes. They were completely black. She didn't blink, didn't sway, didn't move. She simply stared into the lens. For 6 hours, Evan had reached his breaking point. He grabbed a flashlight and walked into the living room. Whoever you are, get out. Silence. He walked toward the kitchen, flashlight trembling, when he heard it again. The scratching. But this time, it wasn't inside the walls. It was right behind him. Slow, steady, crawling across the floor. He turned around and saw her. The woman. Thin, pale, stretched unnaturally long, crawling toward him on all fours, but her limbs bent in impossible ways, like they had too many joints. He dropped the flashlight and ran. He didn't look back. He sprinted out the front door, barefoot, into the street, screaming for help. Police searched the house thoroughly. Again, nothing, but they did find something in the attic. Old clothing, bedding, food wrappers, and long, dark strands of hair. Someone had been living in the crawl space above Evan's house for months. A woman who was never identified. She never returned. She was never found. But the video, the footage Evan captured, was real. The woman's face, her movements, her eyes staring into the camera for hours. The police confiscated the hard drive. Evan moved out the same week. He never slept in that house again. As for the house, the next tenant reported something strange, too. Every night, at exactly 3:17 a.m., he hears scratching on the walls.